defaced. Negative messages marred the hours of hard work many put into the Black Lives Matter mural just east of downtown Cleveland. We'll have the latest details.
Men Are Rocks. It's happening tonight, and it's really the first big event since COVID-19 began. We'll tell you what organizers are doing to make sure visitors stay safe.
The mask debate, it's a hot one, and it's creating a lot of claims and theories online. We verify a claim that OSHA says masks violate its standards.
And contact tracing apps. They're raising major privacy concerns. We'll tell you what you need to do to protect yours.
I pray to God every day.
Flash mob proposal. We talked to the newly engaged couple about that amazing moment.
And Mike Polk found a display that will absolutely put you in the 4th of July spirit. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Yes, it is. Come on in to our KYC Studios. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks so much for watching What's New. It's great to be with you again with Betsy Kling. Beautiful dress.
Thank you.
I'm Jay Crawford. That's the second time I've told her that, but I wanted our audience to know that I appreciate it a great deal. I love the color.
Can you see the shoes are
That's
even
what I
yellow.
most like. That's what I most like.
They're perfect.
Yes.
So,
did you buy them together as a set or separately?
No, the shoes I bought like last fall, and
well, they match
perfectly. I don't get to wear them very often, so once in a while it all works.
You look nice.
Thank you very much. Well, we have so much to get to today. There's a lot that's been happening in the news around Northeast Ohio and beyond. We're going to start, though, with the Black Lives Matter mural that stretches across Cleveland's East 93rd Street. It has been defaced in several parts of it.
Amani Abraham joins us live now from the mural. Amani, organizers and local leaders say they don't want this to take away from the message. What did they tell you?
Yeah, well, the images were first posted online, some expressing disappointment, but those we talked to say they don't want it to distract from the message of unity.
Found written on the mural were the words "Stop killing each other" and "BLM is Marxist." Councilman Blaine Griffin called it disappointing.
For this one individual to take it upon themselves to try to go against so many people that have come together to show a unifying message and to unify around this, I think is unconscionable and selfish.
On Twitter, organizer Ricky Smith said it was one person writing the messages, and he said he confronted him. But he went on to say that he didn't want, quote, one person's actions to take away from the amazing work of the artists. And Griffin agrees.
We have to let love drive out hate.
Now, Cleveland police say that a criminal mischief report was completed. Meanwhile, Councilman Blaine Griffin released a statement with this photo. He said that residents have taken pictures of this man defacing the mural. He went on to say that he's extremely disappointed and outraged that someone would push their own agenda. Back to you, Jay and Betsy.
All right, Amani Abraham from the Black Lives Matter mural in East Cleveland. Amani, thanks very much.
All right, well, we're going to continue on now to, well, actually, you know what, Jay, I am going to say something about this. Because I was kind of, when I popped this story up today to read it, I literally went, no. Like, this was such a moment of pride when that banner and that mural was painted. I love Cleveland's version of that because it so speaks to the stories in the African-American culture and specifically here in Northeast Ohio. And for anybody to face it, I just think that that's really, really. There's a lot of words I want to say, and the word that I can say right now is bad.
Hold your tongue. Hold your tongue.
I get angry sometimes.
Betsy, we're trying to find messages of unity, aren't we? Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't that what we're looking for? We're looking for some common ground that we can all rally around.
Yep.
And I thought that this message would be that message, not just here in Cleveland, but we've seen similar murals. There's a beautiful one in Washington, D.C. as well. Many cities actually have taken to these murals. What it speaks to is publicly, when you're using public property to send any message, I guess there's always going to be somebody on the other side that believes that that use of public space shouldn't be used to send any messages, which sadly is almost where we are right now. We've seen it with bringing down monuments, and now this is essentially a monument, and someone disagreed with it, and they defaced it, and we're seeing it on both sides. And I'm looking for that common ground unity. I hope someone comes up with it soon because, Betsy, our country needs it.
It's a matter of respect. in my opinion.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
You know, if you want to say your opinion, find a way to say your opinion a respectful way.
Yes.
That's my point on it. All right, we're going to continue on now. Here on your feed at 5, another high number of new COVID-19 cases reported in Ohio. 743 new cases were reported within the last 24 hours. That's still above the 21-day average. The state's total number of cases is now 51,789. 45 deaths have also been recorded in the last 24 hours. Well, the Men of Rock Summer Concert Series begins tonight at 7 at the Menor Civic Amphitheater. It always draws a big crowd, but now we live in different times. So we sent our Will Ewick there to see how they plan to keep people safe at this year's event. Hi, Will.
Yeah, Betsy, basically this just opened up minutes ago as you guys were talking. 5 o'clock is when these gates open over behind me. Now you can see that they have 10 feet fence all around the perimeter with only 3 entrances where they are clocking how many people are going to be entering as people start shuffling in. It starts at 7 o'clock, will go to 9 o'clock. So they basically came out here, surveyed the land and did the math and found that typically on average, this is an event that's been going on for years, they can get on average about 6,000. They could max out at about 8. They're going to max out at about 4. They figured that that's going to give them 35 square feet per person coming in. They're offering free mask at the door as well, and they're going to be having people walk up and down the aisles to make sure that people are keeping socially distant while out here. They worked very closely with the Lake County Health Administration, talking with the state to figure out if they could do this or not. They're giving it a shot in other cities. Betsy, Jay are paying attention to see how this one goes tonight.
Well, absolutely no doubt about that. Okay, 35 square feet per person. Now what happens if somebody decides to do 32 or 31 square feet? What happens to them?
Yeah, Betsy, I spoke with the city manager who said that there will be people reminding people, keep your social distance, and they're going to be treating it as reminding people, and if someone doesn't adhere to that and is interfering with someone else's social distance, they will be removed, just as if anyone was not obeying any other rules that they had on any other specific night that they do this Mentor Rocks.
Well, it is a beautiful night to be out there, so I'm sure it'll be busy. Thanks, Will. Thanks for keeping an eye on it for us.
Yep.
Jay.
Betsy, it's Tech Tuesday, and as coronavirus cases begin to grow again, it is becoming more important to find ways to track how the virus is spreading. And that technology has shown up in recent iPhone and Android updates.
That's right. Brandon Simmons joins us now with how all of this works. Brandon, we're so glad we have you to break this down for us.
Yeah, hi, Jay and Betsy. Yeah, the problem is I've seen a lot of concern about these apps on social media, and that's why I think now more than ever is the most important time for everyone to really have a true understanding of what it's all about. It was just a couple months ago when we first told you about a partnership between Apple and Google to keep track of coronavirus cases. Your phone anonymously paying attention to who you've crossed paths with.
Recently, in the tech world, they have introduced some ideas to do this with apps.
Here's how it works. First, if 2 users are near each other, say 6 feet or less for some period of time, the phones will exchange keys or beacons to help identify each other. The keys are anonymous. Once they go on their separate ways, if a person tests positive, they put their info into the app and all the other phones who have exchanged keys with that person would be notified.
So I think it's something that could be enabled and should be enabled for most people.
Kirk Sanderlin is head of engineering at Checkpoint Software Technologies, a cybersecurity company. He says the Apple and Google partnership appears to be on the up and up in terms of user privacy, so much so that countries like France have decided to develop alternative solutions so that they can better monitor the data being gathered. Without help from apps, thousands of human contact tracers try to manually curtail the virus from spreading. Millions of phones gathering the data automatically could be helpful, only if there's widespread participation.
Yeah, it'll never get better unless people start to adopt it. If only 1-2% of people are turning this on, it's never going to be useful.
Now, this feature is available on the latest versions of iOS as well as Android, and we'll start to see more apps over time that have this capability built in, so that's why it's important that you kind of understand what it's all about, and I'm sure you'll see more of those apps in the coming weeks.
All right, B, you know I'm somewhat tech challenged. This is something that we have to opt into. Obviously, we have to add the app to our phone. If we do, are there different layers of things that we can participate in, or is it all or nothing?
Yeah, it's really an all or nothing. Once you give that permission, you're pretty much saying, yes, I do want to participate. I do want contact tracing to happen on my device. However, there is good news. You are able to turn that feature on and off, which is a fairly simple process. Apple and Google have tried to make it as straightforward as possible. So first, if you have an iPhone, you would just go to the settings screen, and then go to privacy, and then go to health. And right in there, you'll see a section that says exposure logging, and you can kind of just switch it on and off. Right now, you'll see it's probably disabled because you don't have an app that uses it. It's the same process for Android, and there you'll go to settings and then go to Google, and you'll see a setting for COVID-19 notifications there. So they make it really simple for people to use and decide whether or not they do or do not want to participate.
Okay, very good.
Can I just say, Brandon's switching his own graphics in the background there. I mean, props. This is why we have you do Tech Tuesday. Thank you, Brandon. That is such great information.
And the lighting. I mean, can it get any better?
10 out of 10, certainly. All right, well, now we're going to get a check on some of the headlines that are going on today. And Russ, we just had a story about the Menor Rocks concert setting up. Big gathering of people potentially coming in. And your first story kind of raises my eyebrows because I saw this over the weekend.
Yeah, you both were probably there as well. We'll get to that in just a second. We just got word of a coronavirus outbreak in Put-in Bay. You probably saw those pictures of a lot of folks there over the weekend. According to the Toledo Lucas County Health Department, at least 7 who went to the island from June 17th through the 21st have now tested positive. These people were at the Commodore Hotel, the Mist, and Mr. Ed's. If you were on the island and at any one of those places that weekend, you were being asked to self-quarantine for 14 days. The European Union reopened its border to 14 countries today, but not the U.S. This is because some states are seeing a spike in COVID cases and deaths. The U.S. will have to wait at least 2 weeks before it gets another review. A new mutated version of the swine flu that can infect humans has been found in pigs in China. Chinese researchers said the strain of the virus has all the hallmarks of a candidate to be a pandemic. Scientists have now called for close monitoring of swine industry workers. And comedy legend Carl Reiner has died. Reiner, who created the Dick Van Dyke Show, passed away last night of natural causes at his home in Beverly Hills. His amazing career as a writer, actor, and director spanned 7 decades. Carl Reiner was 98 years old. And I would just look at Carl Reiner and laugh. Just what a wonderful guy, a funny guy, what a legend. I got to interview Rob Reiner a few years later, and he talked about growing up in this house full of laughs.
Can you imagine that household, Russ?
Oh, my gosh, I can't imagine.
Both of them. Crazy. Sure. She'll be missed. Russ, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next half hour.
Just in case you need a little smile, let's turn things around, shall we? This is what you call a one-of-a-kind marriage proposal. It starts with a flash mob performance in downtown Kent with the couple's family and friends. Mario McHale and Lena Partolino have been dating for 6 years.
Betsy, 6 years is a long time, so you know that this had to be a special deal. It took a lot of time to plan everything for starters, including the choreography, which included days of rehearsals. Watch.
I was so nervous, not for this, but I was just nervous for everyone else, like, please get this right. So it was so great, and they did an amazing job, and I'm super thankful that we had friends and family that were willing to do that.
I don't know. I'm just super excited. It was just like it was the perfect day, like the most magical day ever.
Well, as you can see, it went off swimmingly, and Mario made sure everyone involved got their temperatures checked too, safety first. So far, no wedding date has been set, but that's a pretty cute story.
Well, I hope it's not going to be 6 years. It better not be. Hey, Bets, have you ever seen the show? It airs on Channel 3 on NBC. I believe it's Sunday nights. Zoe's Spectacular Playlist, I think it's called. Have you seen that show?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
It's a fantastic show. It's really hard to explain the concept. For those that have seen it will understand it. But it's like real life settings, and these flash mobs break out all the time. The story is this young girl, when getting an MRI, suddenly was struck with the ability to hear people's thoughts in song. It's a good show, but it reminds me, it's like a 1 hour flash mob on TV. Those can't be easy to pull off, so kudos to him. What a cool idea.
What am I thinking right now, Jay?
you're thinking we've got to get to commercial break. We're running a little tight on time.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. I've had enough MRIs in my day. I can pull stuff like that off.
All right, well, straight ahead on what's new. LeBron's fingerprints are all over positive change in his hometown of Akron, and his presence there is on the rise. We have that story next.
And NASA's Glenn Research Center and university hospitals are working together to figure out how to really stretch our safety supplies here in Northeast Ohio. Plus, Regal Cinemas is pushing back its reopening date.
And we go to Matt now with the latest on how's the weather.
Hi, Jay. Another sun-filled day across Northeast Ohio today. We did have some showers and thunderstorms along that lake breeze. That will be with us again tomorrow. And then we really crank up the heat around here. I've got your latest numbers for you coming up. Cleveland.
In light of the recent protests and discussions on racial justice, LeBron James Foundation is sharing a message to encourage people to join in on conversations.
And as Manny Abraham explains, they've placed 8 banners across the city of Akron in hopes of getting people talking and making a positive change.
Whether you're driving around the city of Akron or just taking a walk, you may just happen to come across a banner like this. They were put up by the LeBron James Family Foundation to get people talking.
I really hope that it continues conversations that are going on in a positive manner.
The banners are set up in 8 different spots around Akron, including in front of the I Promise School, the Tangier, and outside St. Vincent St. Mary, where LeBron played basketball when he was in high school, each one holding a different message.
Our banners, they're actually based off of our 5 habits of promise, which is perseverance, perspective, problem solving, partner, and being a perpetual learner. And those are the things that we instill in our kids, and we believe our community as well. The 5 Habits of Promise can work for everybody.
You'll find the banners at locations that are part of the foundation's work. I'm at the I Promise Village Garden, which you can see behind me, and not far from it is one of the banners. This one focused on being a good partner. And next to each one, you'll find background information, diving into things like respect and supporting your neighbors.
It's just very important right now because of the uncertainty that we have experienced. And I think everybody wants to see love, hope, and togetherness. So we hope that our banners serve as unification amongst the community as well as amongst the world.
In Akron, Amani Abraham, 3 News.
I just think they do such amazing things in the community there, and at a time when kids especially need that reassurance, that's where that LeBron James Family Foundation and the I Promise School just knocks it out of the park.
It's incredible to think how much LeBron James does for that community. And you know, you always talk about things of making change one seed at a time and then watching those seeds flourish.
He's got lots of seeds. He's broadcast spreading everywhere.
Yes.
It's great.
Kudos to him. He's just done a terrific job there in his own community. Got a lot of rain in Chagrin Falls today. Matt, my wife just informed me that our weather gauge there shows 1 3/4 inches rain today, which is,
wow.
We needed it, but it didn't seem like it was raining anywhere else.
Jay, it didn't rain anywhere else. I'll tell you what, it was there. It was Twinsburg down towards Solon. And you know what? That's what we call pop-up, all right? That is a pop-up. But that's your mostly sunny forecast for you.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll take it. I mean, we needed the rain there. My yard's been crunchy.
You're lucky.
Word today is championship. Because talking about LeBron makes me yearn about that championship we won so many years ago. What was it now? 4 years ago? So I just wanted to hear you throw the word championship in there somehow.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Jimmy mentioned last night on the 7 about watching Game 7 over and over. Boy, that just that game, the feeling around it. I mean, I think we're always going to talk about that for sure, even, you know, when I'm 70 or 80 years old. But, yeah, we'll fit that into the forecast for sure. Pretty easy looking forecast over the next couple of days. We do have that isolated pop-up chance still in the forecast. We'll cover when we think that will be highest. Otherwise, we're high and dry across the 95% rest of Northeast Ohio. Temperatures warmest down to the south. We're in the mid to upper 80s. Down for you, Dover, New Philly, Mansfield. Cooler off towards the north. Kind of hodgepodge on the humidity. We've got a flow out of the north and the east, so we've got some spots that are humid, others that are dry. You may notice that, you know, during the midday hours, it may have a little bit more humidity, and then it'll dry out in the afternoon. That's what we call a mixed atmosphere, as it continues to mix up some of that drier air. And there's that downpour right over Jay's house this afternoon. That was along a lake breeze, so you get the cooler air that expands off the lake. It mixes with the hot air inland. Those are the clouds you see bubble up in a line down towards the south of Cleveland. But overall, most of the rain down towards our south and the west. A rainy day for Illinois. Also, New York City, Boston. It was just kind of a raw day out there with rain and clouds. But all this is going to start to kind of fall apart, and we're going to turn more towards heat the next couple days. But not tonight. We'll fall back into the 60s for most of us. Perhaps some low 60s as you get a little bit further inland. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, keeping us clear tonight. Tomorrow, you can see just that isolated lake breeze pop-up once again during the afternoon. Otherwise, a carbon copy of today and more of the same on Thursday. Most of us dry, maybe a downpour along that lake breeze. Otherwise, we continue to be dry. Look at the heat this weekend. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. We're up to 90 on Friday. 4th of July itself around 88, and then we're up to the mid-90s by next week. Some decent heat, so the championship really arrives as we go into that. Weather word made no sense. I could not fit championship into the forecast, Jay. Today is a fail. I'm sorry. I have to send it back to you.
That's a championship day. I like that.
Close enough. We'll still give you. We'll still give you props. Well done, Matt. You got the dinger.
Thanks, Betsy.
All right. Well, coming up, everybody, Regal Cinemas won't be opening as early as they had hoped. Stephanie Haney has all the details next in Clicking in Cleveland.
Hello, yes I am. Fabulous.
everybody. You hear that music? You know it's time for Stephanie Haney, who's joining us now to tell everyone what's been clicking in Cleveland today. And Stephanie, what are NASA and UH working on together?
Betsy, they are working on something pretty cool. They are teaming up to really help us stretch our safety supplies here in Northeast Ohio. So far, the team has developed 2 different methods in order to safely disinfect and reuse N95 masks, and they can do it on site. What you see here are 2 UH doctors showing one of the devices they're testing that uses a chemical disinfectant used in the healthcare, food, and water treatment industries. Now, as for the second method, NASA says if their space-based technology can lend a hand in overcoming this crisis, we will do whatever we can to put it in the hands of those who need it. Now, speaking of putting things in the hands of those who need it, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank is doubling up on its food drive-thrus this week. First, they will be at Parma Senior High School on West 54th Street on Wednesday. That'll be from 2 to 5 p.m. And then they'll be at their usual spot at the Cleveland Municipal Lot on Thursday, also from 2 to 5 p.m. Now remember, you have to pre-register online, which we have linked on WKYC.com, and you need to clean out your trunk because that's the only place they'll load your food while you stay inside your car for everyone's safety. Other people who have safety on the mind are the people behind Regal Cinemas because they are pushing back their reopening date by 3 weeks now to July 31st. Now, they had originally planned to reopen on July 10th, and just like the date change, things will be a little different when you can get back in there. Masks will be required in the lobby, and you'll need to leave empty seats between groups. There will also be fancy ULV foggers used to sanitize every theater after each movie, which I'm thinking maybe let's keep those after COVID-19 is gone. And here's one more change that's going to be happening. No more refills on those large pops and on those large popcorns. Now that is a huge thing in my family. My brothers and I and my dad and all their kiddos, we go to the movie, we get the large popcorn, we pass it up and down the row, and then we take that refill home to mom. We're not going to be going to the movies anytime soon, but Betsy, for people that do go, you're just going to have to get your own popcorn, and that will be fine.
As long as things are cleared out and cleaned up in time for the movie Respect release in limited theaters Christmas Day, and then more theaters in January. That is the story of Aretha Franklin, played by Jennifer Hudson. I cannot wait. That's all I'm looking forward to as far as movies go. Thanks for listening to me, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
That's going to be a good one for sure.
All right. Thanks, Steph. We'll hear again from you soon with Poppin'. All right. What is coming up next? It's the mask debate. Tell us if you wear them or not at WKYC.com. Plus, we're going to verify a claim that OSHA supposedly says wearing masks violates its standards. And getting into the spirit, the 4th of July spirit, that is. Wait till you see what Mike Polk found, and what's new is going to continue in just a moment.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Welcome back, everybody, as we round the bottom of the hour, heading toward home. I got to tell you, Jay, it's time to hear some more good news.
It is.
Tell me something good.
I am absolutely going to tell you something good. I love this one. I absolutely do. I say that every day, but I really love this one. It involves a very special birthday. Carrie B. Thomas is turning 100 years old. Look at her and all of her beauty. She's currently at a nursing home in Shaker Heights. Now, since her family can't celebrate with her due to COVID-19 restrictions, they asked us to give her a special shout out, and oh, will we ever. So here you go, Carrie. Your family loves you very much. They miss you greatly, and they cannot wait to be in your presence again. And Carrie, from all of us at What's New and 3 News, we say happy 100th. We hope you enjoy your special day. What a beautiful smile.
That's pretty incredible. And think about all the changes that she has seen in her 100 years.
My goodness.
And now we're dealing with this pandemic, and she's probably like, whatever. just move along,
people. She's
seen
it all in her time. She has seen it all. So happy birthday, Carrie. Your family misses and loves you very much.
All right, well, let's move on to our top talker now, masks. Oh, is this a good talker? Because there is no gray area here. People either love them or they hate them. And we want to know if you are wearing them. Tell us at WKYC.com/vote now.
Health officials and many state leaders are pushing for people to wear a mask in public, including Governor DeWine. This push has created a lot of claims on social media, including one that masks violate OSHA standards. Here's Jason Puckett with our Verify team to find out if that's true.
There are 2 major claims you might see on social media. One is an article titled, "OSHA says masks don't work and violate OSHA oxygen levels." The other is this long post claiming to be from an OSHA certified expert explaining why masks don't work. Now, both claim that OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, say cloth face masks don't actually work and you can actually limit how much oxygen you're getting. So is that true? Our main source is OSHA. Turns out they've been clear about their support of cloth face masks. From their website, quote, "OSHA generally recommends that employers encourage workers to wear face coverings at work." From an OSHA publication of guidance for returning to work, quote, "Ensure workers wear appropriate face coverings, such as cloth face masks, to contain respiratory secretions." And finally, from a publication on preparing workplaces for COVID-19, OSHA says, quote, "Provide a face mask if feasible and available, and ask the person to wear it if tolerated." Bottom line, OSHA does recommend the use of face masks. So do the CDC, NIH, WHO, and every state health agency. We can verify claims that OSHA says masks don't work are false. If you're seeing others like this out there, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that.
Did you really think that they would? I mean,
no.
come on.
But, you know, that's why we have the Verify team. This stuff it gets out there, people see it, they retweet it, they resend it, and then it's all over the place.
Any advisory that has the word secretions in it, come on, you got to pay attention.
Right. Look at the numbers, Bets.
I know it's been actually moving. It's been
moving a lot. 90% of you are wearing masks in public. It's interesting. The places I'm going, I'm not seeing 9 out of 10 people wear them, but I must be going to the wrong places. I'm glad to see that.
You know who always has his mask on?
Who's that?
He is our safety lead on the PM team. That would be the one and only Russ Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm watching you. Who's
back now with more headlines.
I have masks from the Betsy Kling collection. I just want to point out. Pretty awesome stuff.
You'd be surprised people are actually angry that we did the mask thing. So,
really?
Yeah, I've gotten some interesting comments about that. But hey, you know what? I believe in them, and I'm glad people are wearing them. So keep doing you, and let those other people do them. And good luck.
I'm with you, Betsy Kling.
All right.
Here is what is happening. We have stunning new information from Washington over reports that Russia was secretly offering bounties to the Taliban to kill American soldiers. NBC News reports, according to top officials, the White House knew about this in March of last year, a full year earlier than previously reported. Then National Security Advisor John Bolton told colleagues he briefed President Trump about this, something the White House denies. Russia also denies offering bounties. There will be no Confederate flags at the Wayne County Fair this year. That decision comes after Worcester School said they would not participate in this September's fair if the flag was sold there. And Target is now offering customers fresh and frozen grocery pickup. You can now shop for produce, dairy, bakery, meat, and frozen foods. Then just pick up curbside or in the store. Pickup services are free and no minimum order or membership is required. And that is all at 5:30, actually 5:35. I'll see you at 6 o'clock, Betsy.
All right, we'll see you then. Jay?
There's the music again. That means it is time to check in on the world of entertainment. The headlines: Kanye releases a new single. That always makes a buzz. And we've got news for all you Ozark fans. Here's Stephanie Haney with your Daily Pop Break.
Kanye West has kept his promise and released his new single and video for Wash Us in the Blood on time.
Wash us in the blood. Wash us in the blood.
The rapper first teased the new music back in April with GQ and started releasing first looks yesterday. The new song features Dr. Dre and Travis Scott, the father of Kylie Jenner's daughter, and shows video from protests around the country, including Kanye's surprise appearance at a Black Lives Matter Chicago rally in May, mixed in with short clips of Ahmaud Arbery running and Breonna Taylor dancing. At the end, he takes us to church with a prayer and home video of Kanye and Kim's daughter North dancing at a rehearsal for one of his Sunday services. Speaking of the Black Lives Matter movement, America's Got Talent host Terry Crews is under fire today over a tweet. Crews posted that he has family and friends of all races and then added, "We must ensure Black Lives Matter doesn't turn into Black Lives Better." He got called out real fast by people telling him the whole point of the Black Lives Matter movement is to get people to do the work to derail racism and that justice is not a competition. Crews agreed and said, "No competition, just creativity." And bittersweet news for fans of one of Netflix's darkest dramas to date, Ozark. The award-winning show is coming to an end after 4 seasons, but on the bright side, Netflix announced a supersized 4th and final season with 14 episodes divided into 2 parts. The show, which stars Jason Bateman, Laura Linney, and Julia Garner, follows the story of a family caught in a tangled web after a money laundering scheme goes wrong, forcing them to move into hiding in the Ozarks. And as for this last season, Bateman told Deadline that the show will definitely be going out with a bang. Wonder what that means. Apparently, putting out just a normal 10-episode seasons of Ozark is quite the process. It reportedly takes 4 months to write it and 6 months to film it. And we are hearing that they are on schedule with the writing. But even so, that still puts us at the end of 2021 before season 4 is expected to drop. So that leaves plenty of time, Jay and Betsy, for binging on seasons 1 through 3 if you are not caught up yet.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm usually 4 years behind on these things, so I'm right about on schedule. My kids both watch it and they love it, and they tell me that I will love it. So I guess just as it's going off the air, I'll be diving into it. I'm always the last to get in on these trends. It's sad.
Well, you've got a year and a half there, so you can get caught up right in time, so you can be in the know when season 4 is out here.
I plan to do that very soon. All right, Steph, thanks. Great job. We'll see you again tomorrow. A lot of cities aren't doing fireworks. We know that this year. So Mike Polk found a front yard display that is really going to put you in the 4th of July spirit. Look at that beauty, Bets.
Right? Now we're going to throw a little heat on the fire to go with it. Let's see how things are looking with the weather, Matt.
Hi, Betsy. Some stubborn lake breeze downpours today across a very small portion of the viewing area, but some of you got some decent rain. Does that happen again tomorrow? And what about the latest numbers? We've got the update for you in terms of that weekend heat coming up.
All right. We get to do the pop quiz today.
Yeah,
I know, it's kind of a rarity.
Bonus.
Because we talk so much, and this is the first thing that ends up getting kicked out. Okay, today is Social Media Day. What was the first social media site? Now, Jay, don't give it away.
All right.
Of course, you know the answer. MySpace, Facebook, or 6 Degrees? The answer when we come back.
I don't know the answer. I don't.
How we just, yes, I can. 1, 2, 3, I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian wood. I asked her to stay and she, good. Cool. Gotcha, thanks. John, would you iris down just a skosh? Thanks. It's probably picking up off my legs.
Well, it's time now for our answer to the pop quiz. We asked you, what was the first social media site? And the answer is 6 Degrees. I know you haven't. You can barely do Instagram at this point. Now, according to Hootsuite, it launched in 1997. Users could set up a profile page, create lists of connections, and send messages within their networks, thus social network. At its peak, it had more than 3 million registered users before it was bought out at the end of 1999.
No, I guess they were just ahead of their time.
Right?
Okay, never heard of it.
Now you know.
Now we know. Well, many fireworks displays have been scratched, victims of COVID-19. Parades too, but that doesn't mean you can't find plenty of 4th of July spirit around town. Our Mike Polk met up with one local couple who has all kinds of enthusiasms. They have enough stars and stripes to go around for days.
Welcome, my fellow Americans, to the corner of Hawthorne and Thelma in beautiful Sheffield Lake, Ohio, where one couple is going above and beyond to spread some patriotic neighborhood cheer.
Would you guys be so kind as to introduce yourselves?
We're Marty and Margie Hall.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you have quite a patriotic scene behind you right now.
About 6 weeks ago, I decided they've canceled the fireworks and all this. I started ordering this stuff off of eBay and Amazon. I said, well, I decorate the other holidays, why not do the 4th of July too?
And decorate he did. The Hall's yard features an extraordinary abundance of 4th of July inflatables that are sure to get anyone into the holiday spirit.
You support this habit. Obviously, also, your daughter does as well. You're both enablers of his decorating habits. Yeah. And how does this make you feel to come home to this all the time?
It keeps him busy.
Keeps him out of your hair?
Oh, yeah, I'm constantly, and the neighbors and stuff, people drive by, I'm out here all the time fooling with this stuff.
Like many of us, the Halls have been spending lots of time at home lately. That's given Marty plenty of opportunity to perfect his display.
We got an eagle. We obviously have a giant patriotic bear, a couple of Uncle Sam's statue. I guess we need like maybe a Bruce Springsteen or something like that. What else is patriotic? Is there something you're still missing from your patriotic look that you want to get for next year other than fireworks?
I had to see I pretty well bought everything that was available. So I
looks like. What is your relationship like with your UPS driver? Is he upset with you right now?
Our mailman.
It's just like, here we go. Here's another one. You ever think about putting like maybe making some side money by putting like an elephant ear stand here or something like that? Maybe some carnival fries over there? You can really get something going. You know, side business.
Yeah. Most days you'll find Marty fussing about the yard, making sure everything looks just right.
Nighttime, I like to stand on the porch and watch the cars drive by and the people walk by.
So if you could use a reason to get out of your home, the Halls invite you to come on down, day or night, to check out the display and say hello.
We're on the corner of Hawthorne and Thelma in Sheffield Lake. Please drive by and see it and everything.
Honk or don't honk?
Honk.
Well, I don't know.
She said the honk's okay.
That might start making the neighbors mad. I put this up to make people happy, not sick.
All right, well, everybody come by and check it out. Thank you for making this little corner of Cleveland a little more fun to be around.
Thank you.
How cute are they? Mike, how much money have they spent on this thing?
I won't get into specifics. I think that I don't know if the Halls would like that because they're very humble people. But can I just say what a pleasure it was to spend some time with them, and especially sometimes it seems like people could be pretty mean. And we hear about a lot of mean people out there right now and stuff, but what a delightful couple of people who have a good lust for life and are doing something cool and fun in their neighborhood. And they were just really nice folks, and I'm glad I got to spend some time with them.
Is this the time when we're supposed to mention that you still have Christmas lights up from the start of the pandemic?
I didn't know. No one told me to take them down. Was there a meme that told people to take them down too that I missed?
No, you do you.
No,
It's perfect. You're amazing.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, Mike, it's a beautiful day for a bike ride. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yes. Have
Thank
fun,
you guys for not referencing this at all. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Very patriotic.
It had to be mentioned.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Now
Bye,
we
guys.
go from Mike to Matt with a check of the forecast. We mentioned that beautiful forecast out there. It's hot, but it's not terribly uncomfortable, at least in my opinion, yet. That will be changing, though, in the next couple of days, won't it?
Yeah, Betsy, certainly will. I call it manageably humid. It's humid, but it's what you'd expect this time of year. There's nothing really that thick outside. You know, this is great weather this week, Betsy and Jay, for Mike to take down his Christmas lights. Hi, honey. Do you want to say something to everybody, or Betsy, or Jay?
No.
No, nothing? You don't have any news to report?
No.
Okay, how are the Browns going to do this year?
Good.
Good, all right. If they play, we'll keep our fingers crossed. All right, go watch TV or something. Something unproductive.
Go watch Daddy.
Okay.
Go watch the weather.
They're like, yeah, that's probably the last thing my kids watch. They're like, what? But I wish they would, you know. Sometimes I don't even know if my wife knows what I do around here, but that's okay. All right, let's talk rainfall today across Northeast Ohio. Few and far between. Jay, you mentioned that you were experiencing over an inch of rain perhaps at your house today. There it was earlier today, and here's how much of Northeast Ohio picked up rain right at the intersection of Cuyahoga, Geauga, Summit, and Portage County. We saw the heaviest rain. This is radar estimated, so it may expand a little bit more into Chagrin Falls per se, but very few and far between. But boy, we're at rain today. You had some decent downpours, and the reason why we got some rain today, there's an area of low pressure. It was a raw day up the eastern seaboard. They had clouds and rain, New York City, Boston, so we are really lucky to be where we are on the map. But a little bit of this moisture got into our atmosphere and helped to initiate with that lake breeze some of those showers, and I really don't see that chance going away. We may spark another shower tomorrow across the area, but it'll be right in that same area, right where that lake breeze boundary sets up. Otherwise, most of the action's down to our south and the west along a frontal boundary that's stalled out. That boundary is holding back this serious heat, 100-degree heat in areas of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and that will only continue to spread east. So in terms of 90-degree days, we've had 3 so far this year in Cleveland. Our average is 2 by now, so we're right around average. In terms of July looking forward, we averaged 4 days at 90 degrees or higher. If you remember back last year, we had 10 days at 90 degrees, but looking at the forecasts, I can count those 4 days here, as you'll see here in a second. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast dries us out tonight. A beautiful evening once again. Another nice day tomorrow. You can see the sunshine, a couple lake breeze-induced clouds, so we'll be clear near the lake shore. Those clouds will bubble up maybe 10 to 20 miles inland, maybe sparking a shower. Otherwise, we're dry, and then temperatures will really start to build with drier air working in here for the weekend. In fact, we're on our way to 90 degrees. That should be 90 degrees on Fridays where we're going to hit it. Saturday for your 4th of July, we're looking dry at this point. We'll have to watch a weak frontal boundary late at night. That may move in, may spark a shower. Otherwise, we're dry this weekend. And next week at this point, as Betsy was alluding to, boy, do we warm up. In fact, we're not just seeing low 90s, but perhaps mid-90s in the forecast with a little bit more humidity. So things about to turn hot around here.
Well,
Jay,
you know what?
We'll send it back to you.
I want to thank you in advance for a beautiful birthday forecast. It looks like it's going to be marvelous. I can't wait. Thank you very much. And now I know about upper-level lows.
There's more to come.
Working from home is causing a lot of pain. If your job has you staying at home a little while longer, you might want to consider making a few changes to your body. Give it a break.
And what happens when one dog takes a treat from his sibling? His adorable apology is coming up in the Worth the Watch.
Look at that face.
Oh, that face.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm out here at Parma Senior High School. They are going to be going back to school 2 days a week physically.
All right, let's revisit our question of the day. We asked you if you're wearing a mask in public, and according to our survey here, most of you are. Betsy, the number's overwhelming. 91% say they are wearing that mask out in public.
And we do appreciate that, certainly. Well, as things have been getting back to a new normal, you know, you're kind of getting in your groove now, but working from home, it can literally be a pain. A lot of Americans swapped out their desk chairs for a couch or a kitchen stool, and it's causing them to now have back, leg, and neck pain. While some Americans are heading back into the office, not everyone is just yet. Dr. David Shapiro, a hand surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic, said it's partly because a lot of people didn't have time to prepare to work from home. So he suggests putting your monitor at eye level to help avoid neck pain, use a wireless mouse and keyboard, and take time to find the right chair-desk combo. It's also important to take breaks and stretch when you can.
You know, moving your neck from side to side, work on bringing your arms across your body best you can, reach behind if you're able to reach and stretch that way.
All right, so if your job allows, you get up and walk when you take a call. So Jay, you did the work from home thing. Did you experience any of that?
I did. I went through it. And what you said at the beginning there, because you can work from a different setting, you tend to, whether it's on the sofa or sitting on a chair out on the deck, whatever it may be. And I quickly went back to a proper desk chair, an office chair that gives you the right support. Because before you know it, your neck and your shoulders really start to bother you.
Yeah, it does that at work here if I slouch over.
It creeps up on you for sure. Hey, dogs know when they've been bad too. Watch what this dog does after he eats his sibling's treat.
No.
God, how could you get mad at that face?
Oh.
It's worth the watch, and it is, I promise. It's next.
Yep, I got y'all. I'm here.
I got you, sir. 1-2, check 1-2 out here in Mentor, where Mentor Rocks is going to be getting.
Hello, I'm Manny Abraham here outside of the Mural in Cleveland, where we're talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, this is Mark. RTA officials today didn't want to talk. They passed me on to...
Hello, testing 1, 2. Great, thank you.
All right, here it is, worth the watch. Betsy, you know how siblings act. They're always taking stuff from one another. You deal with that, I'm sure. Dogs do the same thing. Watson took a treat from his sibling. And
you ate Kiko's Chewy. So what do we say when we steal someone else's Chewy? What do we say? Do you know? Yes, we say we're sorry. We say we're sorry. You're a good boy, Watson.
Could that be any cuter, Betsy?
I can't stand how cute that is.
It's unbelievable.
And you know that dog is going, I hate this part. It was totally worth taking it.
Yeah, we've all been there, though. Right? You have to, you know, give your brother a hug, tell him you're sorry.
Right. Being the little sister, I empathize. Yeah. Fine.
Oh, those are gorgeous animals. Gorgeous animals.
I definitely love that.
Well,
good one.
We hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. We're out of time, but we are back tomorrow at 5, and we invite you to join us for another edition of What's New.
That's right. It's going to be Wednesday, middle of the week, on the way to the holiday weekend. We're going to have a great time.